Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a twin flame reading. So this is going to be a reading for the Twin Flame Collective. Be sure to like this video and also double check that you are subscribed to this channel if you would like to receive a specific message from this reading. By liking or subscribing, it makes it easier for me to pick up on your energy. I'm starting today with the Energy Oracle cards deck and just giving these cards a good shuffle to really clarify the energies before we get into this reading. By the way, I do channel twin flame readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's begin by asking, what do twin flames listening to this reading need to know? And a card just flew out. The Thinking Man, and this card I tend to take to connect with a divine masculine who is experiencing his ego more dominantly at this time in some way. However, this card was actually in the middle position when it came out of the deck. So what this tells me is this is speaking to a situation for a divine masculine that is very much in flux. I feel like there is a divine masculine who is in the process of releasing some parts of his ego's perspective at this time. So what is this ego perspective that is being released by this divine masculine? I heard the word fear. I also heard the name Howard, if that connects with anyone in some way. Do keep in mind, whenever I channel specific words or phrases, these will only apply to specific individuals, and really with all of my messages, always be sure to listen to your own intuition above all else and only take what resonates and feels right for you. So how is this masculine releasing his ego? Indecision in the upright position. I heard split energy. So I feel as though I'm picking up on a masculine here who in the past has presented himself as having split energy about this connection, or presented himself as being, I heard, uncommitted, really represented by this indecision energy. I also keep seeing the word karmic, so there could have been something highly karmic about this masculine's indecision as well. Yeah, with woman holding a coin in the reverse position. I heard I'm letting her go for someone in reference to potentially a karmic feminine energy. I feel that will only be for one person. But what I'm sensing very specifically, I feel that I'm picking up on a masculine who was connecting with a karmic feminine or a karmic pattern or situation. It may not necessarily be a person or a third party, but there are very karmic energies about this masculine's past, feelings of indecision about you, divine feminine, and about this twin flame connection. I hear him saying this person or thing that was highly karmic was actually a manifestation of my own refusal to let go of some parts of my ego that is now being released, which of course means that the energy of this manifested karmic situation is also being released in connection with that deeper level ego ego release of this masculine. I know I keep saying the word release, but that's because it's being channeled very strongly right now. There is a major release taking place in the divine masculine at this time. So I'm going to pull a few shoebox messages for this masculine. What is this masculine ego release? Waiting for something. Tell me. And then it kind of trails off with a ... It's like, tell me, and then it's open-ended. And what I get from this is a masculine reaching out or starting to reach out, and then almost kind of stopping himself at times. Because the ego release has to happen fully first for this masculine, for him to be able to fully come forward, to step forward to you, divine feminine, because of the way you are really holding the energy of this situation. If you resonate as the divine feminine, by raising your standards, by standing in your power, for this masculine to come forward, it is requiring of him energetically to do this deeper level healing work, this deeper level release of his ego dominance, and stepping into his awakened masculine embodiments here. With this waiting for something card, I got this strange energy of a masculine who was either potentially connecting with a third party or another person if that's relevant for you, or if not a third party, he was participating in some kind of karmic cycle or pattern that was creating this manifested interference in this connection. And yet the strangeness of this is, although he was participating in this karmic pattern, he also within his own mind was thinking, divine feminine, I am waiting for you. And the irony is here that I feel the divine feminine was the one who felt as though she was waiting for the masculine, longing, with the longing card coming out here for the masculine. But the masculine, although he was stuck in some kind of a karmic situation, was actually nearing that longing. He was saying, I am longing for you too. I am waiting for you too, and for this connection. And the card dreams came out. I heard coming to you in dreams. So I feel that this won't be for everyone, but for some listening, this masculine may also be coming to you in dreams. If not your traditional dreams you have while you're asleep, this masculine could also be emerging in your daydreams. So while you're meditating or while you are simply going about your day, you may get random flashes of visions from this masculine, which is a sign of, with the strength card coming out here, a sign of the masculine's growing strength and true power, but not power in the ego-based traditional connotation of the word. Power in this true, authentic, soulful space. That is what this masculine is beginning to step into and also build the momentum of. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards here. The number 5 came out from the Love Word Scramble. For those of you who are new, the Love Word Scramble is a tool I use to channel specific words. And like with all specific words that come through the reading, these will most likely only connect with specific individuals. So I want to know what is going on right now with the divine feminine in the physical 3D worlds. What is the divine feminine thinking or feeling right now? I keep seeing the heart chakra center. Something about the color green is coming out for someone as well. Someone could have green eyes here. But with the heart chakra, the reason also I thought of the color green is both the colors green and pink can actually connect with the heart chakra center. So the second chakra in the upright position, love energy balanced with emotional intimacy. That's what I heard. How does this apply to the divine feminine? I feel this speaks to the standard the divine feminine is holding, that she no longer will settle for a connection that is either purely emotional, that is purely centered in the heart center, or purely sacral with this sacral chakra energy, this highly physical, sensual, but also just intimate in every sense, emotional and physical energy. I feel her saying, I desire both. I desire a connection that is balanced through the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, meaning there is both this beautiful love energy, but also that is balanced by something material, something physical, something tangible. Yeah, with caring connections in the reverse, I feel that in the past, this divine feminine may have allowed connections into her realm, into her life that were not of this caliber, that were represented by this caring connections card reversed as this, I heard, unsatisfying, unfulfilling forms of connection that she remained tapped into in the physical because she felt somehow obligated to these connections that weren't fully serving her. It may have felt even a bit self-sacrificial here. This could be with her divine masculine counterpart in the physical, but these could also be really other forms of connection as well, platonic connections, other romantic partners in the past, even family members. But yeah, with the yin yang card, this card is the single most strongest twin flame card in the deck. So most dominantly, I feel that I hear this feminine saying, divine masculine, I allowed you to do or to say or to be with me in ways in the physical that I never would have allowed from anyone else in my life. But because I was so aware of this twin flame bond, this deep soul connection that we share, she's almost saying I allowed you to step all over me. I know that's really blunt, but I also know for some people, it may have literally felt that way at times in the physical. However, she's saying now I am raising my standard. I am shining the beacon of my lights through no longer settling for anything in the physical, romantically or otherwise, that is not serving me, including but not limited to this twin flame connection. I keep hearing like the word exception. I feel as though this divine feminine may have made exceptions to her usual standards for relationship with the divine masculine counterpart in the physical in the past. But again, that is changing powerfully now. Now this divine feminine will not accept less than a connection that is again balanced through the heart and sacral, that has both that tangible intimacy elements, that tangible commitments involved with it, but also that beautiful free-flowing love energy that we associate with an open heart center. And I'm hearing that this divine feminine's masculine counterpart could have struggled with both of those components of relationship in the past. They could have struggled both to be emotionally open and also to offer that stable form of commitments, which ultimately with the 11 card, the cornucopia card in the reverse position, which ultimately is why this divine feminine, I heard, I gave up what I thought I wanted for what I know I deserve. So there could be some elements of this divine feminine letting go of something she felt she desperately wanted in the physical of this connection in the future, in order to move towards, to rise towards what she knew and what she knows in her heart and soul she truly deserves. Wow, beautiful messages coming through for you, Divine Feminine. I also feel that some of your guides, Divine Feminine, could be very present at this time spiritually as well. You may notice this showing up in your life as getting head tingles, especially around your forehead and the top of your head, signifying these downloads you're receiving through your third eye and crown chakra centers. You may also find yourself at times waking up in the middle of the nights, or simply having a sleep schedule that's different than usual. So if you have been receiving these kinds of spiritual sensations of deepening connection with the spiritual realm, with your guides, I will be channeling some spirit guide and higher self messages for the Divine Feminine in the extended version of this reading, which is always linked in the pinned comments and description box under these readings. Man holding a heart in the reverse position. I'm actually going to turn to the guidebook and channel a message from this card. Male dealing with family, love, or emotions. When this card is reversed, it could indicate a disconnect or even total shutdown regarding your emotional life. It's time to open up and know that you can handle deep emotions and the energy they bring up. You can be comfortable in the experience of these emotions and in their expression. So, what I'm getting from this particular divine masculine, and I don't feel this will necessarily be for everyone, but I'm feeling two things. One is that this is simply speaking toward the fact that this masculine is being essentially told by spirit, by the divine, now is the time. It's time to open up. In fact, at this point, this emotional opening, this heart center opening for this masculine is inevitable. It is irresistible because it is simply time. But the second message I'm getting for this card revolved around those words, male dealing with family, love, or emotions. And I feel like those three categories, family, love, and emotions, may actually have presented or could still be presenting as 3D, what appears to be distractions. And what I mean by this is these aren't truly quote unquote distractions from this masculine's twin flame path. They are simply, I'm almost seeing like these roadblocks along his highest path, things that must be faced, dealt with, and overcome, but that temporarily could cause him, to the divine feminine, to appear as though he is a bit disconnected in the physical or a bit distanced in some way. So if your masculine has felt distanced in the physical at times, the empathy card came out here. You're really being guided as the divine feminine here too with this empathy card. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation to really tap into that inner knowing, that space within you that is connected with this masculine and what he is going through, because I do feel that collectively the masculine is really facing down any of these hurdles or obstacles that could have been in this so-called path to reunion, which is really just his highest self's path. So I want to channel more information on what this masculine is potentially facing here in regards to family, love, or emotions. And I'm going to get some shoebox messages for this. So what is the collective divine masculine dealing with in regards to family, love, or emotions? I remember. And I also heard trauma. So I feel as though, and just to be clear, I'm going to be channeling many different messages here. So only take from these channeled messages whatever connects most closely with the masculine in your situation. Also, I just saw the number 2020, if that connects with someone, or perhaps that year was significant in someone's connection. But anyway, for this masculine with I remember, I instantly heard trauma response. So I feel as though this could be speaking to a masculine who is processing trauma-related memories of events that happened in the past that could have been very painful for them. In fact, I'm hearing they could have buried these feelings and emotions for a long time because unconsciously they knew that they would experience a lot of chaos, feelings of emotional chaos and pain in fully processing through these memories. And I feel that for a while, this masculine lived his life on autopilot and was really burning himself out, either socially, mentally, in regards to work or career. I heard hustling. So in a sense, this masculine was masking his own disconnect from his own trauma from the past, whether it was related to past relationships, family dynamics growing up. I'm hearing family very strongly here. So for many masculines, this could be related to family. But regardless, I see him saying now, it's all coming back up. I remember. So how is this trauma-related remembering affecting the collective masculine journey in the reverse position? It's requiring him to take this journey within himself. What kind of journey is this masculine taking within himself? I heard spending more time alone, sleeping more, resting more physically, because so much is going on mentally and emotionally on this deeply unconscious level for this masculine. But all of that deeper level processing, although at times I do feel this masculine could be self-judging because he notices that he is sleeping more, resting more, spending more time alone, getting tired more easily. There's something literal here with physical exhaustion, physical tiredness for this masculine because of this really deep level unconscious processing of these repressed feelings. But ultimately what this is doing is bringing in balance with angel of balance in the upright position. And also I'm hearing allowing this masculine to approach life in a more balanced way, because I do feel that for some masculines in the past to the feminine, it appeared as though his priorities were really out of whack. And because of this, walking away in the upright position, for many listening, this is why the divine feminine needed to disconnect herself or walk away, because she felt as though the masculine wasn't prioritizing what was truly important in his life, or giving focus or attention to the wrong things, as this feminine would say it. Angel of strength in the upright position also came out here, representing that this feminine who walked away or disconnected herself in some way from this masculine, set her boundaries, separated herself in the physical, whatever the case was for this feminine. She did so to take the time to really cultivate her inner strength and confidence, especially through the solar plexus chakra center, connecting with value and self-worth. This is coming up very strongly for this divine feminine. However, in the meantime, as both the feminine cultivates her inner confidence, worth, and value, and simultaneously, the masculine takes this inner journey within himself where he is deeply processing these unconscious feelings, thoughts, and potentially even memories related to I'm hearing pain or trauma for some masculines that could have caused this karmic interference in this twin flame connection. Throughout all of this, the Sun card reversed, all of this combined is why there was some kind of a delay in this fresh start, this restart, this new beginning, because I'm hearing everything had to be reset. The ground had to be cleared to build this new, beautiful, harmonious, and aligned twin flame reunion states upon that clear ground. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards here. And in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling more specifically what repressed emotions, thoughts, feelings, memories, etc. could be surfacing through this deep level unconscious processing for this divine masculine. So if you are resonating with this reading and you would like to explore the extended messages, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box. So overall in this connection, because I set the intention in my mind, although I didn't say it out loud, to channel messages for the overarching theme between the two counterparts, bridging these two sides together. And the card that came out is the crown chakra in the upright position. So what is connecting the counterparts here is spiritual awakening, is mutually supported awakening for each counterpart, because as twin flames always do, they are catalyzing one another's growth and expansion on the soul level spiritually, which is why all of those things we channeled earlier, the need for the divine feminine to continue cultivating her inner confidence and worth, the call for the masculine to process out these deeply unconscious pain patterns and trauma patterns that affected the connection in some way in the past and could have delayed this new beginning. All of that combined is merging together, is working together to rapidly catalyze the deepening awakening for both the masculine and feminine. And the card Baby Steps came out. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. And I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook for this card also. You're being called to take grounded action in response to your soul's calling. And I really am seeing a divine feminine and a divine masculine both taking action or being called to action in different ways that could look very separate. But on an energetic level, on a soul level, their action toward their own individual, or what appears to be individual, soul growth, expansion, and development is assisting the whole, is uplifting the whole of their connection. Start where you are and begin building in a consistent way. So many people stop themselves from living a soul-led life because they're waiting to know the destination before taking the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. Our soul is always calling us. Every moment of every day, I heard you aren't going to see the whole map. You're only going to get the next step. And at this time, you're being called to have a great deal of courage in proceeding forward with that next step. And I'm hearing it might look different than what you had expected or what your ego had strategized or planned for. I'm seeing that strategy card representing trying to plan ahead, to create a strategy for something. And I feel that is what we are being called collectively to release, to have the courage to move forward on the intuitive steps we are guided toward, even if things don't make sense. As this card says, follow your intuition before it makes sense. What else is an overarching theme of twin flame connection collectively at this time. What is going on within the twin flame collective? I'm going to see if I can get a card from the Moonology deck here. Wow, guys, I just got a wave of chills looking at this card. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse, and of course, this is even more profound because we are experiencing a new moon at this time, and possibly I will channel more information specifically on the new moon and how this lunar cycle could be bringing in this powerful change for twin flames. In fact, let's get a few messages on that right now. What is this powerful change coming in for twin flames? The word able came out, and I actually heard the masculine will be able to take action, because I feel as though in the past there was this tension within this twin flame connection I'm picking up on, where the divine feminine wanted this movement forward and looked at the masculine as though he was being stubborn in regards to action, or really rather inaction, that he wasn't taking action or moving forward. However, from the masculine's perspective, on the energetic level, he wasn't capable of moving forward into that action-oriented space because his unhealed patterns and wounds were like these obstacles constantly standing in his way, holding him back. But of course, these were invisible obstacles. So to the feminine and to outsiders, this easily could have looked like he simply didn't want to move forward. But on a soul level, he wasn't capable of taking that action the feminine so desired until he underwent this deeper level energetic processing and healing. Attachments in the reversed position. All attachments are being released that have held you back in the past. Divinely released is what I'm hearing. But also the word rest came out in the love word scramble. So I feel I need to address the fact that for some, when you see this release of attachment, there could be this feeling of needing to constantly push and overwork yourself to force these attachments away from you or away from this connection. But I feel spirit coming in here to say, so much is happening beneath the surface, beneath the physical, that is underlying your action, because these attachments are being divinely detached. Anything that is or has been presenting itself as some kind of interference, some kind of block within your life that is then also manifested as a block in your connection, is now being released. And with deceit in the reverse position, the truth is coming out. That's what I heard when I flipped over this card. What truth is coming out here? The word 3 came out here, so there could be some kind of a third party involved for some. Acting. Okay, so a masculine could have been putting on appearances or acting in some way in the past that was very contradictory to how he truly felt about the divine feminine or this connection specifically. But I see that mask coming off here. How was this divine masculine acting in the past? Promises and secret admirer came out. So quite simply, I'm picking up for someone that this masculine's admiration or love for the feminine was unspoken. There was some elements of secretiveness around either the expression of this connection, I see two people almost like sneaking around, things not being very public about their relationship or very well known by others, or potentially the divine feminine even feeling like a secret here and being hurt by that. But that won't connect with everyone. For others, this is simply a lack of expression by this masculine of his admiration for the divine feminine through putting on this mask. I heard mask of apathy or mask of indifference. But again, that is falling away at this time. And what is pushing this mask off of this masculine is this expansion through the heart center as he is fully reconnecting with and therefore able to express his own emotional experience to the divine feminine in the physical. But also the word promises came out here as well. So how are promises playing into this situation? Wow, the fourth chakra, the heart chakra card came out here from the deck. Heart promises, love-related promises. Blossoming abundance in the reverse position. I hear that in the past, there could have been a divine feminine who felt as though there was a masculine making promises to keep her around in the physical, to make her stay. But it almost felt like manipulative here. I don't know if that's the right word, although that might apply for some. It felt as though to this divine feminine that while she was open, while the gates of her heart was open with the garden and the gate in the reverse here, while she was vulnerable with him and he was making these promises, they were never supported with that action that she so desired and needed from him. So she could have left this situation feeling, with first chakra reversed, really insecure, or really there was something really ungrounded about this twin flame connection. It was like, we have all this powerful love energy, but it won't ground itself. And every time I am vulnerable with you and trying to move this forward with strategy in the upright position, you are, with blossoming abundance reversed, letting me slip through your fingers by not supporting your words with action. It's like there's a lack of connection that this feminine is speaking to in the past with this masculine in regards to words versus actions. It's like the words and actions of this masculine were not aligning. But what I hear this masculine trying to say on a higher self level here is, divine feminine, the way I spoke of you, my words were how I truly felt. They were expressions of my hearts. They were moments when I was letting down my walls, my mask, my guard, and telling you how I really felt. And when I made those promises or plans for the future, I was speaking about my dreams and what I really wanted. And yet at the same time, it almost felt like I was talking about this impossible dream, because I also had this unconscious awareness of all of the obstacles presenting themselves on our path to reunion. And although this is what I desperately wanted in my heart and soul, there is so much powerful heart chakra energy backing up these promises. And yet again, it's not grounded with the root chakra reversed. And I do feel that for many divine feminines with the thinking woman upright, this was really triggering for her own ego mind, for her own logical mind. I see her talking to others, so she could have even consulted friends or family members or people in her life about this connection, and they may have really told her that from an outsider's perspective, it looked like this masculine simply wasn't backing up his words with action, that he must not really mean what he's saying because it has that ungrounded energy about it. But again, what the masculine is so desperately trying to get through here on this higher self level is that it's like I just hear him saying over and over, I meant what I said. There could have been something specific that someone's masculine said to them. And you as the divine feminine listening to this could have been thinking about this recently and wondering, did he really mean that when he said X, Y, or Z to me? Or you might be telling yourself, he must have not meant it when he said whatever that was, whatever this expression of love or admiration was that came through at one time from this masculine, whatever this promise of the future was. But I hear this masculine saying, that was the truest thing that I've ever said. And in fact, the issue is so much of the rest of my life was a lie, was an illusion. I feel like there's this reversal of energy here because the feminine thinks that's what the masculine said or what he felt for her was the lie. But the masculine feels like this connection and how he feels about the divine feminine is the only truth about himself, and that so much else in his life is the true illusion, is the true lie. And I feel as though that is what this spiritual awakening has led this masculine to, this deep level knowing of how much soul's truth is infused with this connection with the feminine, and how much of the rest of his life is such an illusion or such an appearance, a mask that he was putting on. Yeah, and with woman holding a coin reverse coming out here, this card actually has come out a few times, and very often I take this to connect with a third-party feminine karmic situation. Although this isn't always the case, this won't resonate with everyone, but if this was applicable for you or your connection, I feel this masculine speaking to the fact that that connection or third-party situation was parts of the illusion that we were talking about here, was part of the mask or the lie that this masculine was living or putting on. And I hear him saying, because I thought that the lie was me. I thought that the mask was who I truly was, because I convinced myself of that so that I wouldn't have to face what was beneath the mask, what was beneath the illusion. But as we've been channeling throughout the course of this reading, that mask is falling away, and everything this masculine has tried to hide, not just from other people, but really truly from himself, those even, again, repressed memories, repressed emotions, all of that is coming to the surface to be processed. With man holding a heart upright, and with garden and the gates reversed, to allow the divine feminine moving into the future to feel safe to let down her guard, to let down her walls, to be open. I wanted to say vulnerable, but vulnerable, that word carries a somewhat weak connotation, and that's not how I mean it. The divine feminine here, moving into the future, is approaching this connection and her life by finding strength in her own openness, in her own vulnerability, balancing her sense of openness and sensitivity and vulnerability with a kind of rock solid inner strength, a knowing of her own self-worth and value. And at the same time, the masculine is approaching the future of this connection with man holding a heart upright, with a wide open heart space that can only come through processing out. I see this masculine like literally walking through this maze, but the maze is his own heart, and he keeps running into all of these dead ends and all of these obstacles, trying to get out of the maze so he can allow this free flow of expression, of love, and just a kind of emotional openness in all areas of his life. But of course, this will also show up in this connection as well. But in order to do this, he has to get out of this maze of his heart. He has to process through all of those things that he has long repressed or tried to hold himself back from feeling. And community reversed and patience reversed coming out here. I also feel that on a 3D level, this masculine is feeling really disconnected from his physical reality in many ways. Again, he could be sleeping a lot or just resting, spending a lot of time on his own, or even when he's around people, he could simply feel disconnected, closed off, with the World card reversed. And with patience reversed, I see this masculine also potentially, I almost hear, could be feeling a bit impatient with his own healing process. I feel like just as the divine feminine at times could find herself feeling impatience and potentially experiencing feelings of judgment towards the masculine regarding why he isn't moving forward more quickly into action. I feel like the masculine in the 3D also experiences at times this self-judgment, this feeling of, I know I should be doing more, divine feminine. I know I should be moving forward faster, but really that's just on both sides. The ego stepping in and projecting its own fears and concepts of time limitation. Remember that time is an illusion because it's truly divine timing that is at work in your life and within this connection. And with door to personal healing and happiness in the upright position, this is such a positive card because it speaks to deepening levels of inner self-healing happening so powerfully on both sides, both for the feminine and the masculine. And I do want to just read a little bit from this card from the guidebook. New beginnings in your personal life. Whether you're working on some inner healing, such as breaking an addiction, or looking to make some external changes, such as finding a new place to live, this card signals that your life is opening up and new opportunities are about to appear. And this is really the key sentence here, guys. The changes you've been working on, so both counterparts within the connection here, are ready to blossom with wonderful results. So make sure you see your personal intentions through with continued action and optimistic expectations. That optimistic expectations word really stood out here to me because I hear this message of not allowing the fears and doubts that surface from time to time to close you off to future possibilities within this connection, to hold the space for really anything to happen. As that card came out from the Moonology deck earlier, expect powerful change, leave room for what may seem unexpected or even impossible to your ego minds. And I just saw the number 4747, so that might be significant to someone, but I'm also actually going to look up that number and channel a message from it. I haven't done this in a while, but you guys know I do like to look up numbers as they come up. The number 4747 symbolizes compromise and partnership. It is a reminder that a stable relationship is built upon meeting each other's needs. And what I really heard is meeting one's own needs, because within twin flame connection, we are really breaking out of the paradigm of love that is based on conditions. I give to you, and then you give to me, and all of the agreements that go along with those conditions that very often lead to feelings of victimhood, feelings of, on one side, usually control or the need for control. And we are really shifting from that to a paradigm of love that teaches us to fill our own cup first, to meet our own needs, to care for ourselves, because in twin flame connection, that self-love expression is actually equivalent to expressing love, to radiating love to the other within the twin flame connection. And the cards that came out are from the Rumi Oracle, the Courage of Your Love and Sacred Soul Sister. So I'm going to close this reading by channeling a message from the Courage of Your Love. This is from the Rumi Oracle Guidebook. Love without reason, rationality, or really the ego would be another word, is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, "This is the heart that shines with courageous love. It is willing to feel and bear all suffering without judgments, whilst gently holding it in the truth of what the suffering really is, the drying out of the mind addicted to suffering. The drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform deadwood into living fire. The drying out is a challenging and enduring process. The path of freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation into great power. So many lapses will happen before the heart grows strong enough to empower old patterns and surrender without condition or equivocation. When it is ready to surrender in such a way, the heart is free and allowed to simply be. Even the mind then finally freed from shackles and joyfully submitting to love declares, 'Let love be in whatever way it shall be. I can bear it. I shall take refuge in it. I shall not turn away from it. I am that love.' You are an ancient one with a heart older than the mountains." Really beautiful, beautiful messages from the Rumi Oracle Guidebook. In the extended version of this reading on Patreon, I am going to be channeling more in-depth, specific messages for individuals who will be drawn to that extended reading. I will also be channeling higher self love messages from both the masculine and feminine to one another, since we didn't get to those messages in this first reading. So the link to all of that is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me here in today's reading. As I always say, if you are someone who is tuning in and listening here, you aren't just a passive listener, but quite literally a co-creator of this space and of all of the messages that come through these readings. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I will be channeling another twin flame reading this Friday at the same time at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you here again on Friday, and I will talk to you again in the next reading.